Previously on Top Travel.
Finally, we're in Santiago, the capital of Chile.
When Jeannie told me she could ski, I thought she would probably be a clown on the slopes.
The problem is my skiing technique is much to be desired.
The horse riding, I didn't like it.
It was so funny. I was watching him and he was bouncing.
This week on Top Travel.
After a 5-hour flight across the Pacific, we finally landed on Easter Island.
When you go to a place like Easter Island, you actually don't know what to expect because it's one of those places in the world that no one gets to go to. There's a very select group of people that actually manage to get there. It's the most isolated, inhabited island in the world. So we land in Easter Island. And I'm thinking, this is going to be fantastic.
It's going to be like a Hawaiian summer holiday. Honestly, that's what I pictured in my head. I pictured Hawaii. Hot boys on the beach, beautiful 5-star hotels everywhere. That's honestly what I pictured when I thought of Easter Island.
As per usual, I was waiting for the limo. Jeannie was waiting for the limo.
Then we got to our mode of transportation.
Old Volkswagen Mini Bus arrived.
I'd never been in one before, but it certainly did take me back in time.
I thought I was going to a concert with the Beatles or something. I don't know. It was weird.
It was very flower power. It was cool.
Top Travel's all about premium travel. It's about 5-star. It's about living the good life. So obviously I was waiting to go to this beautiful resort with a swimming pool overlooking the beautiful sea.
To be honest, I was a bit worried because when we arrived, we were met by this wonderful family and I thought, okay, this is nice. But then they led us into their own home and I thought, oy vey.
I thought it was great. Jeannie didn't like it that much.
Lovely to meet you. It was a really amazing shock for me because something that I thought was going to be an awful experience turned out to be the greatest experience because the people were so warm and so giving and so nice, and we felt that we were part of the island because we had that experience.
What people have to realize is Easter Island, it's not about 5-star hotels, it's not about limousines, it's not about the glitz and the glam. It's about a real, authentic experience. I asked very kindly if we could go on a scooter ride because I'm very comfortable on a scooter and I'm not very comfortable on a bike.
Do I really need to entrust my life in this man who just can't even handle a scramble?
Come back here, come.
Okay, don't speed, don't stall. Those were my only 2 requirements. He was cute.
Oh. I'd never ridden myself on a bike and I'd never had a passenger, so you can imagine how I started off. Shaky, stalling, braking. Okay.
At first, I said to Janez, I said, look, you've got precious cargo on this, on this scrambler. If we fall or anything, there's trouble. So please, just try and keep this thing on the ground. This is the town of Hunguroi, which has a population of about 5,000. And although there aren't a lot of people here, there's still so much to see and do.
It really is a tiny island. Half the population are Rapa Nui, they're the locals, and you see them everywhere. The other half are Chileans. It's also the most eastern of all the Polynesian islands.
So let's bust the scrambler and go and see some more.
Let's try not to end up in the local hospital. Hold on tight, girl.
Okay. Okay. Cool. What's going on here?
This is a lot of people for a small town in one place. It's like a giant heap of sand.
Yeah, let's join them. It looks fun.
Can we just park without stalling?
Hi. Hola.
I think there's something under that mound over there.
We seem to have walked into some kind of a festival, and I texted my mom to find out if there was any significance today in the Catholic religion, because the only religion on this island is in fact Catholicism. And apparently today is the day of Our Lady of St. Carmel, which was when there was an apparition or a sighting of Our Lady in Chile, and they celebrate that right here on Easter Island in the form of what they call a festa.
They basically dug this massive hole into the ground the night before. Then they had all these assortments of food, cakes and meats and vegetables and fruits, wrapped them up, put them into the hole, covered it with burning coals and lava rocks because the whole island's full of these black volcanic rocks.
And at first I thought, wow, that's such an incredible, ingenious way of cooking things. Although it would have been ingenious in the days that they didn't have convection ovens.
That was weird. I guess it's Rapa Nui culture, so you take everything as it is. The entire population of the village arrived there. There were queues of people. Everyone wanted a piece of this wonderful food.
The mass and the extent of the food was unbelievable. There was just meat on the first layer, fish on the second level, these massive sweet potatoes, which I pray they cleaned because I really did eat a few of them. And then on top of that, so that it can absorb the least of the heat, with the desserts.
It wasn't wonderful food. The sweet potato was okay.
I'm a sweet potato fan, and I really thought it was good. Add cottage cheese to anything, and it tastes fabulous.
Hello guys, I'm Janez.
Rana.
Nice to meet you, Janez.
Rana.
The nice thing about the Easter Islands is the weather's always superb. I need you to help me. I want to make one of these little moais over here for my travel companion Jeannie. Can you help me? So out of this piece of wood. Jeannie and I travel all over the world, and everywhere we go she collects treasures, so I thought it would be quite fitting if I actually make one of the treasures for her. Okay, I'm going to try. Okay, so this... I think he's told me I've got to kind of make the indentation for the neck first so I can separate the head from the body.
I've had a bit of experience in DIY. I'm pretty good. So we went to a wood carver, traditional wood carver, and what really impressed me is he was brilliant with the chisel. He was very, very skillful.
Okay.
Let me help a little bit because I'm sure you need it.
He gave me a piece of wood, simple instructions, and said go for it. I was useless. You know what? To do something with that level of skill, you really do need a lot of skill. And not only skill, you need a lot of patience. Okay. He's asking me to hit it harder and take it from higher, but these are treasures.
I've known Janez for many, many, many years. And there's nothing he can't do, except for woodwork.
Okay. It looks just the same as yours. Finish.
Isn't she lovely?
You didn't.
I did.
I don't believe you made this all by yourself.
Can you actually believe how good I am? Because look at these details. I even did the hands.
No, but you did it like so well. It looks exactly like the Moais we saw.
But let's forget this one. I actually made this one over here. I don't like this one.
You rubbish.
Let's check this. Do you like it though? It's abstract.
Love it. In the morning, I decided to go for a walk along the beach. That was the point where I really thought, wow, this island has got something very, very special about it. I'd been so negative about the island originally, and at that point I thought, wow, I'm in an amazing, amazing place. And just sometimes it takes you to be by yourself and just capturing every little bit of the place around you to discover the magic about a certain place.
Okay, I'm very nervous right now. I'm outside a tattoo parlor here in Easter Island. This is probably one of the most special places in the world, and I'll probably never come back here. So I'm going to get a tattoo, and I'm going to do a traditional Polynesian tattoo.
I told myself a couple of years ago after I got my first tattoo in Thailand way back when I was a student that I would never get a tattoo again because I can't remember getting this one. So my director said, what about getting a tattoo in Easter Island? And I thought, no, that's not a good idea because I'm not going to do it. But the more I thought about it, the more it appealed to me. Tattoos actually come from the Polynesians originally, because when you watch all these Maori people, they have the most beautiful tribal tattoos all over their body. So getting a tattoo in Easter Island would be the perfect thing.
Flowers? Like this?
That's perfect. I really like that. I like the fine lines and put it on the inside of the arm, not the outside.
Yeah, no problem.
Is it quite painful on the inside?
Depends on you.
It's all in the head.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was very nervous about getting the tattoo because tattoos are pretty painful. And I don't have a high pain threshold. I'm not a woman.
So how long have you been doing this?
16, 17 years.
Okay. And how long have the Polynesians been making tattoos?
100 years ago.
And what does it symbolize?
When you see one man in the street, you say, what's your name? No, you see the tattoos, you know the place.
Where they come from?
Yeah, everything.
Their family history?
Yeah, everything.
There's a lot of history going into this arm right now.
I was just taking an innocent stroll through town, peered into the tattoo shop because he's been daring me for years to have a tattoo done. And there I see him laying on the bed with his guns out. Aren't you scared, little girl? It's gonna hurt.
Now are you Catholic or yeah? Pray.
Pray.
Having a tattoo done takes time to put onto your body, but it also takes time to get that thought process in your mind, because it's a big thing to put something on your body. So when I lay there and he was busy applying it, I really just told him to chill out, take it easy, because I wanted the most perfect Polynesian original tattoo the world's ever seen.
Finish.
It's the most fantastic moment when you lift up your arm for the first time and you look in the mirror and you realize that time does really equal perfection. What do you think?
It looks great. It's beautiful.
One thing I'm 100% confident about is it's extremely beautiful. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that, man.
Easter Island is such a very special place, and it's got a history that has fascinated scientists and anthropologists for years.
Why were they built and what importance do they have to the people?
Well, the Moai is a central part of the Rapa Nui's belief in the cult of the ancestor. So the Moai is the image of the ancestor. And this ancestor figure has big eyes, and they're kind of watching and guarding the village of the owners.
How did they come to be here?
Well, there are different hypotheses about how the Moai were transported from the quarry to the final destinations. And I believe in the hypothesis that the Moai was transported in vertical position. The elders will say that the Moai walk. And in my own archaeological work, I have found 12 archaeological evidence supporting this idea that the Moai really was transported in a vertical position, just like walking. The detail will have to be demonstrated by experiment, but we have done that experiment many times, and we have noted it is very effective, very efficient, and it needs only a few people to move the statue.
There's so many different theories on how these statues were transported around the island. What's yours?
My personal opinion would be that they were using the same techniques that they had been using in order to slide up their outrigger canoe or the double hull canoes in order to get them for operation from the water. So they use a certain kind of letter that they put on the ground, and then they build something like a sledge in order to put the statue on the top, and then they pull them. We already had been tested with a statue that had been weighed 12 tons, and we had been put all together 115 people in order to pull it, and they had been pulled this statue 75 meters in 45 minutes.
Yeah, the other hypothesis that explain the Moai moving in horizontal position require a lot of wood and trunks, which by the 14th century, all the way to the end of Easter Island prehistory, we did not have more of those wood. And contrary, the people were making Moai bigger and bigger. So how you can explain that way of moving the statue if they didn't have the means to do it?
So what do you think of the notion that they were walked there?
We already know that there is at the base of the statue an angle which is something like 15 centimeter angle right on the base, and it was a way for the statue to not fall out from its base once it was standing on the platform. So it is impossible to raise up a statue and keep it standing and then make it work.
It was so frustrating for me because I spoke to so many people and I wanted more information about how did these Moais get here? Why did they stop building them? What happened to the people of the island? And nobody was giving me answers, obviously because there's so many contradicting theories on the island and the people that lived there.
It's only told in folklore and through songs and through talking. So that's not a very comprehensive way of predicting what happened, because ideas get lost and stuff like that.
You wish that those people had preserved the information, how that island got there, a little bit better so that we would know, because there's so many conflicting theories.
Ranaka is one of the biggest volcanoes on Easter Island, and it's basically created this very special microclimate in the crater. The walls of the crater are so high that it protects from winds and stuff like that. So there's figs growing here, there's vines growing here, and it's created this very fertile Shangri-La. And I can see it's dormant now, but how long ago was it active? When did it last erupt?
Well, the last eruption on the island, scientists say, happened no less of 11,000 years ago.
Absolutely love dancing, and I also enjoy seeing the dancing from lots of different cultures. And the most beautiful part about it is the people that are doing it have got such passion about where they come from and their tribal ancestry, that they do it as if they were really living in the yesteryear. I can dance because I enjoy it. So I'm probably not very good at it, but I certainly love it. So I get into the swing of things very, very quickly. Rapa Nui men, first of all, are completely attractive. They are really, really hot. And these men had such powerful dance. And the women embodied everything that was feminine and beautiful. And they were real women, and the men represented real men. As I was learning the moves of the dance, I had such an amazing woman next to me who was translating the words of the music to me.
But the song says, just one night, I've met you at the Anakena beach, and I want to catch your soul.
I want to catch your soul.
Your soul, your spirit. If you are in love, you can understand what do I try to explain.
And then she introduced me to her brother, who was this very intense man. And there he was and started singing to me and dancing with me. And it was really quite an amazing moment. It's beautiful to see a culture that still exists today with the same principles as olden day living.
Suddenly, the Moais, it just stopped. They stopped making them, and this new cult came along. The Birdman cult is the most fantastic story and the most fantastic part of history. No one knows how it came about, why it came about. The most incredible story. The strongest young men would compete, and the winner of that competition would be the new king, the leader of the island.
Every tribe spread out over the island, they were coming here in the spring season. they employ the houses built by them on this place. And so every time they were chosen their own competitors, and they started climbing down the cliff only with hand and feet, without any help. And they were swimming to the islands just on that way, where the birds they nest. And so the competitor, they had to go there to get the eggs, and after that, they put the egg in a kind of a headband, to have the hand, the feet free. And so they were swimming back, they were climbing up the cliff. And the first man, with the egg intact on top of the main house, he was called Tangatamanu, Birdman, the winner.
And how did the birdman culture actually come about?
Well, after the war, when the short ears, they rebelled against the long ears, the superior, the dominant culture, the royal culture. So, well, they organized themselves, to choose, this very strong leader, because just to avoid killing themselves, because they were not friendly themselves.
So these are the small little houses where the warriors lived?
This is one of the more than 50 on this place.
I can see the walls are quite thick, but it's also very low. Why is that?
Well, the main reason why they are so low, because the people, they stay here just in trance, with a kind of prayer. Because in fact, these people, most of them, they were certain that probably they never came back here alive.
There must have been quite a few people staying in here at once, so there must have been a great sense of camaraderie.
Because while the more competitors they have more chance to get one leader. And the tribe with the leader, who the leader was coming from, they have special rights on the island too.
It was probably one of the most memorable moments of my life. Easter Island is one of those special spiritual places. I mean, words can't describe what I'm saying. It's just, you've got to go there to experience the emotion, to experience what Easter Island is about. It's a phenomenal place.
I feel so satisfied sitting here looking at the beautiful sunset. This island is just one of those places you have to have been to. We can tick it off on our list.
It's so incredibly beautiful. I love it.
And the fact that they walked those Moais all the way here, can you believe that?
Okay, they didn't walk the Moais here. They actually slid them down on these giant sled-like structures.
They didn't. I spoke to an expert today and he clearly told me they walked them here.
Okay, doesn't matter how many contradictory theories there are about this island, one thing is for sure, that its magnetism and its mystery will always be very, very special. Okay, I also spoke to an expert today. He said that they built these sled-like structures and they slid them down.
In folklore, the
so now you believe everything you read?
The local Ranganui people said.
Hello? I love you. Let's go.
I think I'm getting married.
Next week on Top Travel.
Janez obviously has got a lot of experience in history. So he was taking it very seriously. He was like, we're going to Sacsayhuaman.
Sacsayhuaman?
Sacsayhuaman.
And I was like, really? And who is that?